How to Raise a Millionaire 10 Skills Rich People Master at an Early Age. As the old saying goes, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for a life. Although some believe that money doesn't grow on trees, it certainly grows in your mind when you acquire financial knowledge at an early age. If you can master these 10 skills today, your future bank account will thank you tomorrow. If you have these 10 skills, you're already way ahead of the game and have the necessary skills to jumpstart your career. Number 1. Resourcefulness. Mondays feel even worse to you than usual, and each of them chips away at your happiness. You're interested in earning some side income, but you don't know where to start. The time you have before and after work is hard enough to work on any side hustles. You have read some books, you have read some longer articles, you have watched some videos, but you're back to square one now, just like last year. Early on, you're learning by yourself. You have a tight budget or no budget at all. All in all, you must make the most of what you have, as you do not have an abundance of time or resources. Here's where your first valuable skill comes into play: resourcefulness. At its core, it is the power to cleverly come up with solutions to a problem in a pinch. So, in a practical sense, it is knowing about what to do and how to do it well given the limitations imposed by reality. Perhaps you may only have 3 to 4 hours of free time a day. You may have only a couple of dollars to work with each week, or you may have a few people who can teach you things. However, are you making the most out of these opportunities? Is it possible to squeeze the most value out of something in the meantime? You see, some people mistake the fact that they will need a ton of free time and limitless financial credit to make anything happen. I'll just get straight to the point. It's an excuse. Number 2, decision making. Because you have a limited number of resources, you should carefully think about the best way to make use of them. Instead of trying 10 things at once, it's better to find out which two work best and move on. The art of making good decisions is a skill that can be developed. If you want to be self-sufficient, the 3 big choices you need to make are: how will you make a living? How will you care for your own home? And how will you feed yourself? One question remains: where do you live? And 2, with whom? These are life-changing decisions with emotional consequences, and because of that, you have no idea what to do when it comes to making them. On the other hand, in order to improve your decision-making skills, try to make as many reversible decisions as you can. Reversible decisions refer to those which are not that expensive or can be easily undone if necessary. What will you eat for dinner? Where will you see a friend later? Should we book an Airbnb? That is a minor problem. Their decision doesn't make any sense. We know you know friends who take forever to decide where to eat or what to wear. And it is imperative to cultivate this habit of making decisions in low impact, quickly reversible manner. The more often you do it, the better decision-making skill will become. After a series of choices and decisions, when the time comes for you to make an important decision, you have been blessed with this volume of life experience. Number 3, doing one thing really well. Almost every person that is successful nowadays sucks at a lot of things. But one thing is important: you need to have the self-confidence to overcome it. All they're really good at is world-class service. People want to know how to do it. But if you know how to do anything and not at all something well, great. That means you have a wide variety of options to choose from. The future in 2022 is filled with creativity. That being said, there are always new skills that are useless monetarily. Just look at TikTok and notice how many people are successful getting rich while not really doing anything. You might say they're not really contributing anything to society. All that being said, does it really matter if everyone saves the planet? Not everyone needs to do so. Not everyone needs to take on such high-stakes commitment as establishing schools or setting about the path of being an educator. As long as you're happy and secure with what you're doing, no one gets hurt and you can financially support yourself. You've got our support. Let's just chat for a moment. Some people shy away from what they truly want to do because it doesn't seem realistic or makes a good mantra on a resume. If you dance the TikTok dance, that cannot be carved into your gravestone. So what will your friends say? So I can no longer be a respectable person? Which too bad. The best I can do is to be somebody who finds jobs that provide an income. It's okay to hack so long as you don't hurt anyone else in the process. Number 4 is resilience, and one of the most important skills on this list. But the problem is you underestimate the mental strength it takes to power through this time right here. It's called the I'm about to lose everything line. This is when people panic and quit. You've made a course, but it's not really selling. You have a YouTube channel, but after 6 months, you only have 50 views. You create, but nobody cares. Certainly, this is to be expected when you start over from the beginning. It's something you will go through with 100% certainty. Just because it's not an everyday event doesn't mean it can happen when you try something new. Thus, the quality of being resilient is crucial. Number 5, courage. Since society tells you to avoid dangerous and reckless behavior, we don't often use the word courage. Wouldn't you want to take the scenic route instead? Well, I have the best route that works for the current traffic. In other words, to be courageous is to be brave and have the power to confront something you're afraid of. So in essence, courage is a choice, and the only time you can act with courage is when the prospect scares you. Will you be brave enough to make the jump? Is there enough self-confidence in you to give this a go and really commit to it? Some people mistake bravery for impulsiveness or doing things without really knowing what you're getting into. On the contrary, the sentiment in question is that courage means being prepared. So if it becomes an issue, you can be confident and say, I am trained for this. This is my moment. Number 6, system building. Rich and poor, it is the same for all of us. We wish to do well, so rich people may not always be healthier, but the gap between the starting point and the finish line is narrower. Building good systems is keeping your work accessible on a daily basis. For your business to grow, there needs to be something you can do each day to advance it. Without a proper system, you're shooting in the dark hoping to hit something, but you'll never know if you're really making any progress. It's difficult to know where you're going because there's no measure. Number 7, deconstructing. In order to construct a quality system, you must develop skills in deconstruction, meaning looking at the final product and breaking it down into smaller parts. That's how your brain makes sense of the world. You can tie your shoes in the dark without any problems. You have deconstructed and reconstructed the same action enough times that it becomes second nature. Basically, in building systems, deconstruction helps you to understand how the pieces go together and how to stack them back together. Number 8, sales. It's of the most utmost importance that you learn how to sell right away. All your interactions are sales pitches. Not only are you selling your product, but you're also selling yourself and your time, energy, and resources. Everything is a transaction one way or another. It'll be better for you if you do this. So take some time to research the value exchange for yourself. Number 9 is commitment. Simply put, commitment is when you promise your future self that you'll follow through with what you set out to do. It takes a certain type of long-term thinking and self-trust. With limited commitment, you'll produce sloppy results because you can fully focus. When you commit to something, you've accepted the idea of living up to that decision. In a difficult situation, stay confident and fully commit. Even if what you're doing isn't right for you, you need to give it your all. Generally, you won't find the answer until you put in some work. Number 10, competitive advantage. If you're trying to stand out from the crowd, your competitive advantage may be the hardest, but also the most important task. What you can do that others can't. What makes you you? There's no advantage better than being who you are. Really, no one can beat Joe Rogan at being Joe Rogan. You'll have to find what makes you great and go all in on it. Thank you for sticking with us until the end of this video. As a special thank you, you're getting a bonus. They should know it all started in the beginning, with little to no money. But today, it's all about sustainability. Even though you reach a point where things are sustainable and sustainable entrepreneurship requires certain things, if, for example, you're considering running a side hustle, you'll reach sustainable entrepreneurship When that side hustle is earning as much as your full time job, that's when you can switch from being an employee to an entrepreneur.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment.